My area of research was actually wireless sensor network. And if I just talk about some of my certifications, so from your Microsoft itself, I have your AZ900, AZ104, AZ500. I am also an MCT, Microsoft Certified Trainer. I have done the new security series, SC900, SC200 as well. Okay, and I am your MCT, Microsoft Certified Trainer. And from the EC Council, I am having the certification a lot of like CND, CEH, your ECIH, ECSA, your CSA. I am having case.net, case.java. I have done your CHFI. Okay, and I am also in CEI, Certified EC Council Instructor as well. Okay, so that is a bit of the background. Even from the CompTIA, I am having few certificates like Security Plus, Pentest Plus. I am having your Basic Network Plus as well. Right, so this is a bit about myself. Okay, and in today's session, what we are going to learn is we are going to learn about the Azure Sentinel. We'll be starting with the very basics of the Azure Sentinel itself. So bit of the introduction about the InfosecTrain, as you guys will be familiar with us. I can see many familiar faces. You guys are sitting with me on the different of our courses like the CompTIA's CYSA Plus, CompTIA's your Security Plus, your CEH, and like courses like our AZ900, AZ104, AZ500. I can see a lot of familiar faces over here. Right, and hello to everyone who is familiar and even not. Right, so in InfosecTrain we provide different training programs, certification, consulting service, and in the different IT and cybersecurity domain. And one of the best thing about the InfosecTrain, we'll be saying that we provide you the flexible mode of trainings with the certified and experienced trainers. So first, let's just discuss today's agenda, that what we are going to cover in the today's session. So we will be starting today with the introduction, then what is in Azure Sentinel, okay, what are SIEM, taking a bit of a look into the Sentinel, although not all the things we are going to do today, right? We'll be talking about bit pricing, although you will be familiar that usually there are two modes, your pay as you go and the commitment base, and here you have to actually pay for the data retentions that would be there. And then we'll be going for the creating the infrastructure, different infrastructure to learn this Sentinel, deploying your log analytic workspace. Okay, and we'll be learning that how to work with that particular workspace, not directly jumping into the Sentinel, start using it, why you require this workspace, what is workspace. That is something that we are going to do. And towards the end, we will be today we'll be ending with the connectors, seeing that what are the connectors, although bit of the idea I'll be giving you today itself on a lot of things, so that for tomorrow we don't have a lot of things to cover and easily we can cover and see the things that how things are being handled over there, right? So this is just a bit of a brief for everyone over here, that what is our today's agenda. And as I was saying that again, I was getting some of the background noise, so I just go ahead and muted everyone. And again, you can keep dropping your questions, queries through the GoToMeeting chat box throughout the time. And specifically towards the end 30 minutes, I will be specifically asking you to go ahead and if you will be having questions, then ask the questions over there. Okay, so don't worry about it. We are going to give everyone the proper timing over here, right? So that's a bit from my end, right? So we will be going ahead and starting this, we will say start this particular session over here. Now before we start with the Sentinel, we will be thinking, I think everyone here knows that Sentinel is your SIEM tool, right? That we are using the Sentinel as a SIEM tool. So first of all, I hope, I'm just guessing that a lot of you are right now working in your SOC centers. Okay, your SOC centers. Okay, Now, when you're working as a SOC analyst or you're working in a SOC centers, your organizations wants to, some more advanced security management capabilities. And, businesses already start moving to their workload to the clouds nowadays. So cloud is something which we have seen that there is kind of a boom in the market, and very specifically since this pandemic happened. Actually, even there was a statement from the Satya Nadella that we were trying to move to towards that cloud culture, but they have proposed things that they will be achieving this kind of thing within 3 years, right? Within 3 years they need to do those changes, but there was suddenly a boom of changes that most workloads they start moving towards the cloud, right? Now, as a SOC center, we know that prior to this whole COVID situation, those SOC centers, they run like 24/7 from a particular your location on site, offices, and no one has think that these could be a cloud-based solution as well, right? Although there was the options, but no one was thinking to move towards them properly, right? Now, let's say that someone has asked you that you have to evaluate a SIM solution which can help you for both things, like for your on-premise and your cloud workload both. Okay, and not only a single cloud. Most of the organization nowadays, they are moving towards the multi-cloud, right? So the most of the organization, they are moving up towards the multi-cloud solution. Like you will be having subscription from AWS, GCP, even Azure as well. So you will be having your on-premise, you will be having all these centers as well, right? All these different your solutions, cloud solutions as well. Now, when you have all these cloud solution over there, so you want a SIM solution from where you can keep eye on everything, right? Now, SIM, when we are talking about the Sentinel, right? So you heard about that Sentinel has capability which can observe your all resources like your on-premise, your multiple cloud resources as well. And it is actually a native cloud solution, SIM solution, right? So if you guys are familiar, not all the SIM solution were native cloud solution, and Sentinel is one of the your native cloud solution itself, right? So you will be start get to know these things, and I have received some of the queries from a lot of candidate. Even if you will be knowing that we are starting batches for the your Azure Sentinel. So when we are starting, these things. So when we start things, a lot of you guys ask us the query, and maximum 90% of the query that I have get up to now is that we are moving towards the cloud, right? Or we are moving towards the Sentinel. So how we can go ahead and run these things, right? How we can understand that how Sentinel it works, okay, and all those kind of things. So it will be your task to evaluate what features Sentinel has, how Sentinel it actually works. So we will be starting with a bit of the introduction, and before we start with the introduction, okay, we'll be understanding what is your SIM. So when we are talking about the SIM solution, SIM system are usually the tool through which usually an organization they collect, analyze, and perform the security operation on its computer system. Okay, and those computer system can be simply your hardware appliances, applications, both. So you could be gathering the information from your network devices, from your work servers, from your applications, from your appliances like firewall, IDS, IPS, right? From these kind of the places, you will be getting the different data. You will be aggregating. The work of the SIM will be aggregation of security information from multiple sources, as I was describing, from your network resource, from your IDS, from your IPS, from your application, from different places. And you will be start correlating the data, and so that you can take the proper action against this. Generating some alert incident based on your findings, what you have find, right? And on the right hand side, I have actually included one graph. So anyone who has gone through the bit of the, this will be very common one when you are going through the blue teaming courses, like there is a CYSA plus. So you must have seen these kind of the chart, like whenever you are going to deploy a SIM, first thing is SIEM solutions are not your cheap solutions, right? They are a bit costly solution. So first thing that comes into the mind, that why is the requirement, why you want to start with your SIEM solution. Okay, how you are going to, then you have to start the planning and the direction from how you are going to collect those logs from the different places, right? You will be start collecting and processing it, because one thing, logs you are collecting for the SIEM, they are going to be in different formats. So formats, like someone is in these, W3C JSON format, someone is in the your syslog is having different options, ERIs are gonna be there, so different format. Now we can't just handle the everyone is in the different formats, so how we are going to correlate things, right? I'm talking about the correlation of the security events. So how we are going to correlate them? So you need to collect and process them, right? Like if I am gathering any information, there are IP addresses, right? There will be IP address of two type, source and destination. So no matter which format you are collecting the logs, so source IP address should fall under this. So let's say that you're creating a table kind of thing, a database, right? Source IP should be falling under the same category. Destination should be under the same category. If there are HTTP get method, post method, understand that how to collect them. Okay, which IP requested, what kind of thing they were requesting for. Okay, so you have to process them properly, then analyze them. Okay, for analyzing means correlating and querying the things, right? You'll be sending the queries that what you require, and after the analysis, whatever findings, whatever you find, analyze this, whether it is a true positive or false positive, whatever it is, right? False positive, false negative, you will be marking it, what is the challenges, how it happened, okay, what is the solution, and then you will be presenting a report. Dissemination is simply presentation of a report, then the feedback of the thing, that how well your SIEM solutions are working, right? And some of the very famous SIEM solutions in the markets are like you have the IBM SecurityRadar, right? So we have the IBM SecurityRadar, we have your Splunk, right? We have the Splunk, we have the Arc site from your HP's Arc site is also there. So you use Cisco's FireEye. So you use things like this over your SIEM solutions, right? Alien Vault, your OTX is there, right? So these particular SIEM solutions are in market, which is again, they are in the market for a very long time. They are the market leader. If you talk about SIEM solutions, IBM QRadars, Splunk, they are market leader. They are in the market for a very long time. And when I'm talking about the Sentinel, so Sentinel is here and it already start bit disrupting the market. Okay, so I'm not going to say that it is a foolproof 100% developed product, right? It will be having its shortcomings no matter what, right? But it will start disrupting the market because it is a cloud native solution which can equally understand your on-premise and your cloud-based solutions as well. Okay, all kind of thing it can understand. So when we are talking about the Azure Sentinel, so Azure Sentinel is a cloud native SIEM solution which can use to perform all sort of or get the complete insight into the data that you are collecting, what is happening, right? So without even, if I'm not even talking about the Sentinel, I'm talking about a normal SIEM solution. What they can do is, their task is like any of these, what they will be doing, they will be giving you the log management. Okay, there is going to be different features of that. They will be providing you the log management. Okay, different logs generated by different device will be getting them. They will be generating alerts, right? Alerting is another features, right? If anything is happening, they will be providing you the visualization. Okay, visualization means giving you insight that what is happening, showing you the graph, okay, per charts, what is happening, giving you the links, right? Helping you with the incident management, and one other thing is like they will be allowing you to querying the data that you have collected. When I'm talking about the querying the data, like if you there is ELK as well. If someone has used it, it is kind of a open source one. Elastic Stack, right? With the security union, if you have ever tried it, so there is our log stash, right, to go ahead and query the data. In Splunk, we have the search processing language, that you want to create your own query, you want to do the bit of the threat hunting. You will be, and for the SIMs, what we do the something like we collect the security intelligence, right? So these kind of the options we are having when we are talking about the different SIM solutions, right? That what is happening, how things are going on, how your SIM solutions are working. So this is something that they generally do, how they are reacting, and this is simply the your work of the SIM. Now we are talking about the Azure Sentinel. So when we are talking about the Azure Sentinel, it is a cloud native SIM solution which you can use to get the security inside across all your enterprise by collecting the data from virtually any sources, almost any resource. So if you will be asking me, I have seen it by myself, the growth of Sentinel. So I remember when I started, it was having kind of around, I think, 26 connectors or something like that, right? Which I believe recently has improved up to 120. So I have seen its growth firsthand, that how good it is, that from where you can collect the data almost from every places. You can collect the data like syslogs and everywhere, all of those places. Okay, so you can get the insight what is going on in your organization. Now you can detect the and investigate and the different threats quickly by built-in machine learning and Microsoft Threat Intelligence. So Microsoft has its own queries running in the background for you, its own threat intelligence there, inbuilt your machine learning running in the background, which is giving you the insight, alerts, checking for the incident. You can use them, and actually you have to go ahead and select that what is important for you. Okay, so you have to decide that what resources we are using, and based on those resources, what queries are important for us, right? So you can do things like that. Okay, and even you can automate the response using the playbook and integrate the Azure logic apps. So this is something very specific to Azure resource or service that we have. Okay, so we'll be coming and possibly we'll be seeing this thing tomorrow. Okay, not this week, but yes, tomorrow. So if you will ask me, if I have to decide any SIM tools or your security operation, so what as a security analyst or SOC analyst I want is, this is my security steps. If I want to give protection to my organization or anything, right? So this should be my steps. First, I should be getting the visibility. So visibility is simply representing the scenarios that I can see that, okay, if I have deployed a single server, even though it is a legacy server, using old Windows XP base, even I get insight of that, or even you are running Windows 7 for that matter, not even the XP. I think XP is pretty old. So if anyone here in organization, you are running that one, that will be my personal suggestion. Unless it is a honeypot, please dismantle that thing. That is pretty old, and it can really cause a lot of problem for you. But again, my task would be that, yes, go ahead and try to protect it while I can. So I need to get the insight what is happening, right? I need to get the insight that what is happening actually, right? So I'm getting visibility, collecting the logs, I'm getting the visibility what is happening in my organization, even on premise in the collect. Even as I was saying in the very beginning, we have connectors for other cloud services like GCP, if you want to connect to the AWS as well. If you are running on the multi-cloud solution, still we have the insight for almost everything, what is happening, how these things are happening, all of them are going to be the part of that, right? So we are having the visibility, analytics. Then if you want to create your own query, you have some intelligence, and you want to create your own query. So when we'll be talking about the own query, there is Gusto query language, which in short is called KQL. And I'm sorry, many times I pronounce it as the Gusto query language. Okay, it's Gusto query language, but yeah, in short form, I think it's my habit that I keep calling it the Gusto. So yeah, it's Gusto query language, which you can or we will be using as well. That what and how these things could be happening, right? So with this, you can create your own query. You get the insight that what is happening, how things are happening in the your Sentinel, the data that you have collected through this visibility. You can do that. And base for the Sentinel is going to be this analytics that they are talking about. Here is the place that you are going to collect all your logs, right? So today we are going to focus on this analytics part, and this, when we'll be having those analytics part, we'll be focusing a bit on the KQL as well, right? So I'll be pretty honest with you. For today, my goals are these two, that what are these and how you can play around with that log analytic workspace and the KQL. Okay, bit not in the, because yes, this is just a boot camp, so not very deep we are gonna go, but yes, I'll be giving you a very fair amount of idea that what it is. Okay, hunting, creating the queries. Okay, now here we were going on, we were getting this thing, and then start investigating. Okay, once you have the data, you have your own query, okay, so simple thing is, I know if I'm working in the smart card industry, right? So I think almost all of you guys are, because you're joining this Sentinel, so I'm just taking bit of liberty to assume few things, right? And one of those things that I'm going to assume that you guys are familiar with like things like the MITRE framework. Okay, you are a bit familiar with the terms like cyber threat intelligence, CTI. You're familiar with the terms like threat hunting, right? So if I am working for here in the smart card industry, I will be having my own use cases, right? That who can attack, then out of those use cases, how someone has attacked. With the help of MITRE, I can know who could be my adversaries, what kind of tools they usually use. So that kind of thing is gonna be my target. Yeah. And based on that, I'll be collecting the threat intelligence about them, that what they can do. Then I can start doing the hunting. I can deploy the queries. There may be some of your built-in machine learning and the queries that can help me. And maybe there's a chance that I have to go ahead and I have to create my own queries, right? Based on my knowledge, my threat intelligence. Maybe we are learning some of the queries in there, and I'll be creating those queries with the help of this KQL. And once I'll be creating those query with the L, and I will start investigating what is happening. Alert will be hit, alert will be generated. I'll be assigning it to someone. There will be the whole scenario that how you can go ahead and examine the whole thing, that how this thing actually happened, right? So we will be learning that as well, and then there will be the last part, which will be the automation. So when we are talking about the automation, we are talking about the SOAR. So in the last year, from that, since this pandemic is starting, we are focused on the SOAR solution, that we can perform at least some kind of the automation. So we'll be seeing things that what it is going to be, how things are going to be done, all these kind of things, right? Okay, so when to use the Sentinel. Okay, and before I will be taking you to the portal, don't worry. Okay, practically I am gonna go and I am going to take you to the very specific Azure portal, where we will be trying to see your Sentinel as well. I think not in this one, I have to use actually my second account, right? So in there you will be seeing that I have actually deployed, no, in the same one, I think I have already deployed the Sentinel service somewhere, right? So I will be giving you a bit of the idea. Okay, not for now. So with you, I'll be creating a completely new Sentinel set, collecting them, working with them. So don't worry about that. We'll be doing a completely new set, developing a new set, new architecture. But this is something, this is how it looks like. And for the guys who are working with it, or who have seen it a year ago or so, you will be seeing that lot of options has been improved. And even if you ask me, recently they have added few features in here as well, which even I have to read about and I have to get myself familiar with them as well. And that is one of the best thing that I found about the Microsoft's product, that they keep updating new things, keep you always on your toes. You have to learn new thing every day, almost every day, I can say, right? So we'll be seeing this, that how these things are in there and what we can do with them, right? Now, for now, let me just minimize it. And when to use the Sentinel, I think first is you can use the Azure Sentinel if you want to collect event and data from the various sources, as we have discussed: network, appliance, application, same thing. Perform security operation on the data to identify any suspicious activity that is going on in your whole organization, either on-premise or in your cloud workload. You will be thinking about that. Now, security operation, they can include things like the visualization of the log data, anomaly detection, threat hunting, right? Security incident investigation, automated response, and to alert an incident, right? So this is the whole thing that we have discussed in the last time, last page. So it is just giving you insight that, these kind of the time when you can use the Sentinel. Okay. Now, Sentinel, it offer other capability that could help you to decide whether it is right fit for you or not. Okay, and many of you, I'm pretty sure, is sitting on this particular session to understand that whether Sentinel is going to fit for your organization or not. So if I talk about, it is a cloud native SIEM, and very rarely you will be finding some of the cloud native SIEM. I think Alienware is having that UTX, yeah, which is again not the cloud native, but yes, they are also having a cloud based SIEM, right? And not only them, most of the your SIEM solution are providing cloud based solutions now. They are also migrating toward that same thing. Okay, and here there is no server to provision, so scaling itself is effortless. And why scaling is effortless? So anyone is familiar with the benefit of cloud, scaling is one of its benefits, right? Scaling at the large level. Okay, and you can integrate it with the Azure Logic App service and its hundreds of connectors, right? So we have this Azure Logic App. If I had to categorize it as a service, if you guys are familiar, there is something which we call the serverless computing, right? So this particular Logic App is falling under that category, and using this app you can connect to the 100 connectors, and with the help of this Logic App you can apply the automation. You can apply automation in the Sentinel itself. Okay, with this there is a big Microsoft research team working in the background with the help of machine learning, which can detect a lot of different incidents. They have created some rule templates for you. They have created some of the predefined queries for you, which you can take advantage of as well. Okay, and key log source provide for free, and you will be seeing a lot of time collection of the logs like from within your Azure itself is going to be without any cost. Okay, no extra cost will be there, only the costs will be on the amount of data that's being exchanged. That's it. No additional cost for your agents or the tools that you have to pay. No, only the data that is being transferred, on that you will be charged. Okay, and even I think incoming data towards your data center will be free, but outbound data in most of the cases will be charged. That kind of things are there. Okay, even it support your hybrid solution like on-prem with your cloud-based solution, and SIEM and a data lake all at once. So SIEM plus data lake means you collect a lot of things over there. So when we are talking about even when I go with the courses like CYSA, I always say one thing, that when we are having the SIEM solution, first of all, they are costly solution. Second, the memory space that we require, right? The storage space is always a challenge with your SIEM solution, that how much log you are going to retain. Log retention is going to be always a challenging things, but with the cloud, because this is scalable and you don't have to worry about this, so most of the time you will be seeing that you have, this should be the Azure who will be worried about that space, right? So you want to store your log, you want to retain it, that's fine with that, right? So this is something that is a benefit over here. And when you start doing the investigation in the Sentinel, okay, so there are some clear requirements that is there, like support for data from multiple cloud environments. So if you have multiple cloud environment, I keep repeating this, like AWS, GCP, you can have that. And even there are some distinct features and fact that you can take advantage of, right? Now what we are going to see is, first of all, we are going to see is, like we are in the Azure space right now. So first of all, we are going to see that is Azure Sentinel is the only thing that can help you to detect the different threats. First is very specifically in cloud. Okay. And if we go to the cloud for Microsoft Azure itself, there is your Microsoft Defender for Cloud, which was previously known as the Security Center. So if anyone is familiar with your Azure frameworks, how Azure work, this service was known as the Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Oh, sorry. This Microsoft Defender for Cloud was known as the Microsoft Security Center or Azure Security Center. So that Azure Security Center used to have the ability to go ahead and even look into your on-premise threats and alerts as well. Now it became very specifically Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Apart from that, we have the Office O365 that is there. We have the Microsoft Defender for Endpoint now, Microsoft Defender for Clouds, and different solutions are there which Microsoft is rolling out. So and your Microsoft Sentinel can take advantage of that. It can connect to all those services and collect all those logs at one places. So individually, those products are able to give you alerts, generate alerts for you, identify something is suspicious going on, send that those suspicion to your Sentinel, and from Sentinel you can view, investigate all the things over here, right? So first thing is, a bit 10 to 15 minutes, I'm going to take you and give you a bit of a tour of this Microsoft Defender for Cloud. So in this Defender for Cloud, you will be seeing that first, one of the very basic thing that it used to give is the secure score, right? You are getting a secure score, that how secure your whole architecture in the cloud is, right? This is my one subscription which it is looking for, and it is checking that whether it is completely secure. So I am having very poor score, as you can see. Out of 55 points, I have only scored 10 points here, right? So I'm only 18% secure. So as you can see, as a cloud security specialist, I'm having a pretty bad score for my resources. And mostly, if in my defense, I only want to say that these resources that I have deployed, they are just for the demonstration purpose, nothing serious. So please just don't judge me on this particular score itself. So in this one, you are going to get your different recommendations. Okay, so here you can see how I can protect my cloud, right? So like what I should be doing, if I clicking on them, they will be giving me the whole description as well, that what needed to be done over here. Okay, so this is bit of your enabling the MFA, but with that there is something like the security alerts. Okay, let's just say in one of my VM or in one of my accounts, someone is trying to do the brute forcing attack, and this particular defender is going to detect it. And you will be asking that how they are detecting. So, and this is fueled by your Microsoft's own machine learning and AI platform, and thousands of your security engineers working in the background, developing different scenarios, identity, they are working with the UEBA entity, entity-based behavior analysis, MIAL, all their knowledge they are applying to get the alerts for these, any threat that will be going on. So if there was any attempt, you would be easily able to see these alerts over here, right? Those will be the alerts at this particular point. Now, in this one itself, there will be the mention of workbook, which you will be again finding in the Azure Sentinel. So you will be seeing there are a lot of similarity between the two. Now, one of the difference in here is like if you have to follow some regulatory compliances in here. So let's just say right now I have only applied this Azure security benchmark. But for future, if you want to apply things like PCI DSS compliance, you want to check that kind of thing. You want to just go ahead and check for the ISO 27001 standard. So those kind of the policies you can apply in here. Like you can see, I can apply these regulatory compliance board is here. I can enable them. Right now, I am unable to enable them. Why? Because all this is part of the Microsoft Threat Defender, and that is a paid service. Okay, so I haven't enabled that particular service for me right now. You can get 30-day free trial for that, but once you will be enabling those things, you will be getting the these kind of features that you can enable this thing or add more standard and check this thing. You can create your own compliance standards as well, guidelines, and add it here and check your environment that whether or not this is work compliant with these some regulatory compliances. There is going to be the workload protection, protecting your workload. Okay, so cloud coverage, you will be getting security alerts, how many you are getting. Like you can see 5 server, app service, storage, resource manager, DNS subscription. If I would be having SQL servers and different scenarios, they will be also covered under this one. What is covered, what is not, different options you will be getting to prevent it. Even container, Kubernetes, IoT solutions. So Azure is actually very rich platform if you will be looking into this. Even for the security perspective, they will be giving you these things, right? There will be the firewall manager where you will be going ahead, checking that firewall manager if anything suspicious happening over here. Even their firewall has its own AI ML running, which can alert you for anything, right? So right now, if you will see, I'm just talking about a cloud-based solution. I am not talking about the on-premise, not giving you the visual inside your on-premise that what is going to happen over there. Nothing in there, right? Then there will be the different environment settings that you can do, even. Okay, for log collection, we'll be seeing today that we have this something called the log analytic workspace. So we want to cover them or not, different security solution that is there. Okay, here, as you can see, Microsoft Defender for cloud. So do you want to add some non-Azure servers as well, right? Onboard your non-Azure computer to defend the Defender for cloud to gain security assessment of them, right? Selected SIEM, right? You can add it to the SIEM or the WAF, Azure Application Gateway WAF. You can add them. So create an event hub, stream the your events over there. Okay, install a partner's SIEM solutions connector in there. So if you have some third party as well, so it provides you some of the flexibility that if you are not ready to move from your SIEM solution provider, yes, just go ahead and add your SIEM solution, get the data from us and give it to your SIEM solution provider so that they can get inside here, right? So that is a kind of thing that is there and supported by this Azure. Now, how this is different from your Azure Sentinel, right? So if you will ask me over here, so what is happening? So we were talking about all your scenarios, what your Azure Sentinel is covering in security. It is covering visibility, analytics, hunting, incident, automation, all these things. Now, when we are talking about the security Sentinel, it is covering the visibility and analytics part. That's it, right? So if you will be asking, that security center, which is now Microsoft Defender, it is covering only it is giving you the visibility and analytics. That's it. These two parts is covered by your security center, right? Now you cannot hunt for the incident. Okay, you cannot go with although you can create some automation, but you cannot just simply go ahead and create all these things. Okay, Okay, kind of, you can say kind of, Manish. You can say kind of, not exactly, because for the syslog where you will be finding that a complete different connectors is over there, but this is a kind of a syslog which is for the Microsoft Azure Cloud only. Okay, just getting you that kind of things. Okay, that kind of the detail over here. So this is a bit of your Azure Defender, right? Now we need to understand bit of the architecture for your Sentinel. So first of all, there will be an underlying service from the Azure which we will be using, and that service is going to be your log analytic workspace. Okay, log analytic workspace. Now anyone who has worked with the your Azure will be familiar with this one. So what happen is, this is a kind of a space where you will be collecting all the logs, right? And when you have all the logs in here, on the top of this there will be the your Azure Sentinel service which will be running. Okay, so on the top of this log analytic workspace, your Azure Sentinel service is going to run. So when we are talking about the log analytic workspace, what your log analytic workspace can do, it can actually collect logs from the different places. Like it could be your VM, your on-premise machine, your SQL servers, right? On the different solutions, syslogs, and all those kind of things. You can collect, and it is a centralized log collector. Okay, so when we are talking about this, so it is going to be kind of a centralized log collector. It could be a virtual machine, right? It could be your on-prem machine, a Linux base, or maybe your Windows based server. It could be a syslog. It could be a database like SQL database. You can connect to that as well, right? You can have the syslog IS servers. You can connect it to the application monitoring, solutions. So a lot of the different things, and this is a centralized solution, means no matter in which region you have deployed the VM, wherever your on-premise are, you can collect all of the logs in here, right? So you can have all the collection, the log from all the places. From all the places you can collect the logs. Now this can collect the log from anywhere, it can retain it, and now Azure Sentinel will be running on the top of this one, and it can work with those logs. Okay, now Sentinel will be having its own connector which it can enable, different type of connector, API based, native, CF based, right? But this log analytic workspace has that power to collect the logs from all these spaces, right? That you are going ahead, collecting it, connecting it, even from the Azure's cloud as well. Not only this one, but different kind of cloud. It can collect or connect to the different. Okay, although connector will be defined in here, right? You will be seeing that control, the dashboard, you are seeing all here. But in reality, what is happening? Okay, this is happening in reality. These cloud like AWS and the your GCP, they are forwarding all their data based on the APIs onto this particular log analytic workspace. And in short, meantime, you will be seeing I'm calling it as simply as a log. These are the log analytic workspace, and you are collecting whole things over here. Okay. Now, when you are collecting things over here, these things are then you require something, intelligent service, right? A head kind of thing. So this is the your memory. Now you need your intelligence, and that intelligence will be provided with the help of the Sentinel. Okay, and to run this one, like that intelligence, the running, they will be having some queries. There you will be using the KQL for that use this KQL and get yourself into the groove to go ahead and work with these, developing the new queries, work with them on the day-to-day basis, right? So you'll be seeing these things. So first of all, let's just go ahead and try to create some of the your okay, if I am correct, I have already few log analytic workspace here, few VMs running and everything. So what I'm going to do, guys, just if you will give me few minutes, I'm gonna log into my another account, right? So in here I am just gonna go and I'm just going to create a new log analytic workspace for everyone. Okay, so when I was talking about this, so what I was doing is, we are going to have the visibility and analytics over here. So we can have, as I was saying, we are going to have one service which is called the log analytic work service. Okay, I hope this screen was visible, because I was getting some error from the GoToMeeting that my screen was not visible to the candidate. So you guys can do let me know that whether this was visible for you or not. I think as you can see, candidate already left. Maybe that was the issue, right? I was trying to explain this thing over here in the background, that Sentinel can connect to these things, the VM on-prem database, syslog, different kind of places, gather the information from there, right? So yep, so if you will give me a few minutes, I would like to log in into my another account, and then we will be starting. So when I was talking about that Microsoft Defender for Cloud, that is providing the visibility and analytics. Now, that automation part, not everyone provide you that automation part, but yes, from the last 1.5 years, what I have seen, most of the organization, they are moving towards the automation, which if you have heard, rather than only focusing on SIM tools, nowadays we are focused on SIM plus SOAR. Okay, and I can easily say that there are the hunting option, that threat hunting option. It is a very, you will find very good options in some other your SIM solution as well. I am not biased toward. I will, if I keep just an honest opinion, you will be finding more good threat hunting options, CTI integration option in some other security tool which is in the market for more than 20 years now. Okay, so you can get good tools as well. So if ever you have seen the IBM QRadar, Splunk, you are going to love that. Okay, so those are a few things. Well, just that is just my personal opinion. Okay, everyone can have different opinion. So that was my personal opinion. Okay, so I'm just going to go with the new account here. And in this account, what actually I'm having, if you will see that there are going to be some of the VMs running. And actually I have already connected these VMs to your log analytic, one log analytic workspace here. Okay, now let me tell you or give you a brief about these VMs. So this is a VM1, and this VM1 is based on the Windows. It is based on the Windows Server 1. Then there is this Windows 2 again. It is again based on Windows Server 2019. Right, I'm starting this one as well. And then there is another VM which is based on the Linux Ubuntu 18.04. Right, so it is based on that. Right, so 3 VMs are here. Now, out of all these VM, what I prefer is I want to put that VM1 and VM3 like they are running on the Azure cloud, and VM2, let's just treat it as the on-premise one. Okay, I'm just going to assume that it is running on the on-premise, nothing else. Okay, so that's gonna be it. So I'm just going to assume things like that it is running over here. This is an on-premise VM, VM2. Just everyone keep this in mind. So this thing will be much easier for you. Now, when we have these 3 VMs, and when you have to collect the logs from the different places, as I was saying, one of the base solution here is going to be one log analytic workspace. Okay, log analytics workspace here. Right, so you will be searching for this thing. You can create this one. Okay, you will be giving it the name. As you know, create a resource in Azure, you need to provide it to the resource group. You will be selecting that resource group. Okay, let me just create one with the name like the boot camp. Right, you'll be going in here, giving this the name. What would be the name of this one? Okay, like the log analytic workspace, in short, law. Okay, so law boot camp, right? So it was the, I'm going to give it the name, then there will be the next tags, and if you will be learning about the cost, so there will be costs related to the different factors, like from which region you are collecting the log. If you are collecting the log from the location which is not belonging in here, it can simply go and charging you more. You'll be going next to the tags, then to the review and create. Okay, if everything is just fine, you can simply it is going to run a bit of the validation, and you can simply go and create your log analytic workspace here. You have to click on create, although I'm not doing it, but I'm just telling you that you will be doing things like this. Now when this will be launched, so what you can do is, let me just search log analytic workspace here. So like this, you will be having the log analytic workspace, like log monitor. Actually, I have connected this VM1, 2 and 3 in those this particular workspace itself. So you can have workspace like this, so you will be seeing all the workspace just like this. Okay, this is your first thing, and it is necessary. And why I'm saying that it is necessary, that if I open a new link tab, okay, another way, like if you don't want to create it like this, so you can directly search for the your Azure Sentinel over here, Sentinel service. Like it will be telling you that there is no Microsoft Sentinel to display. So what you can do, you can click on create, right? So it will be telling you that add Microsoft Sentinel to a workspace. You can add it over here, or you can say that I want to create a completely new workspace. Either you can select the one which you have already deployed, or you can say that, okay, no, I want to create a completely new workspace, right? I want to gather the data from there itself. So you can have that option as well. So here again, it will be giving you the same create log analytic workspace option, where you will be selecting that bootcamp option, again giving it the name like the Sentinel hyphen bootcamp. Okay, and just simply going on to the tags, review and create, and simply create the one over here, right? So it will be initializing that particular one, it will be creating the workspace, and you can go ahead and then deploy it to that one. Like it will be giving the third option here, you can select it and it will be deploying the Sentinel to that particular one. Okay, right. So I'm just waiting for that to deploy, so that even you can see, if you have anyone is having bit of the doubt, it should be clear that how that will be working, right? So we will be adding this one, then there will be this, that log analytic workspace, it always looks like this. And if hopefully I'm going to have some of the logs in here. Okay, so when you will be getting this welcome page, as I was saying, even in the log analytic workspace itself, there are going to be many inbuilt queries in here. Okay, and all these queries are written in the your KQL, Kusto query language. Okay guys, and if you want to write your own queries, understand this thing, you should be getting familiar with the your Kusto query language. Okay, and if you will be enrolling in our Azure Sentinel course, you'll be finding like 2 to 3 days I'm going to spend on the your, means around 7 to 9 hours I would like to spend with the your KQL. Okay, that's just personal choice, right? Because if you can create your own query and you have understanding of the security background, like what are the events, which events you are looking for, what is your use case study, there you can go ahead and you can simply make your own query, investigate, create, learn for the look for the incident, all that hunting part you can do. Okay, like here for application related, container related, Azure resource related queries are here, right? Like here, failed authorization, if you want to check for any failed authorization, so what you can do, either you can directly run, or you can load it to the editor, and how it will be looking into the editor like this. Okay, these are the comments, and this is how your Kuso query language it looks like. And I'm just showing you here as well. Okay, these are some of the queries that are running. A new query. Let me just close this one. Let me just go to the overview. Okay, look like bit of the internet issues in here and there. So here, this is like here I'm seeing you that these Sentinel Bootcamp workspace I have created. I can go ahead and click on add. That just simply add this Sentinel Bootcamp log analytic workspace with Azure Sentinel service, and then you will be seeing the one Sentinel service in here, right? So it will be taking its time, so let it be here. In the meantime, let's just check how to connect a simple VMs. Like, okay, Manisha, I'll be giving you those answers. So if you remember VM1 and VM3, we are going to treat as they are running on the your cloud, Azure cloud. Okay, so and obviously they are running here. So what I'm going to do, you are gonna go on to this particular virtual machine options. Okay, already, because I have gone ahead and connect them already in past, so you can see here that it is telling you that they are connected to this workspace. Okay, they are already connected to this workspace here. So simply, if you have to connect any VM, you will be clicking on this, that particular VM's name. Right now it is giving me disconnect option, but if those VMs are not connected, you will be getting the connect option at that particular time. You will be simply going ahead, clicking on connect, and now they are connected over here. Okay, with this log analytic workspace. Okay, this was the log monitor. Similarly, you will be doing the same thing with the VM2 as well. Oh, sorry, VM3 as well. Now, let's talk about the machines that is on your on-premise, right? So we are going to treat the VM2 as the on-premise VM, that this server is not on the cloud but on the your on-premise, like in your office, your physical building over there. So to treat it like that, let me just establish one RDP connection with this file. Okay, and let me just pause my screen for a minute and let me log in over there. Okay, so it is just logging in, connecting to that particular VM itself. Now it is already here, and I am already having this Google Chrome account in here. So actually I have taken a bit of a shortcut in here. Okay, so I'll be letting you know what kind of shortcut I have taken actually. Okay, let me just minimize this one. Okay, this is my main machine. So just like this, in this log analytic workspace, what is going to happen is, if I will be going to the setting of your I was just going into the setting of this agent management here. So I'm going into the agent management, and here you will see if you are running on the Windows server or you are running on the Linux. If you are on premise, you need to download this. Okay, for the Windows Gen, for 32-bit, 16-bit, an agent is there. Okay, now for the guys who are not familiar with the agents, so what agents will do, agents will be running on those machines and they will be connected. Like here you can see that I will be getting things like workspace ID and the key for the verification authentication. Okay, that agent will be gonna go and run in that machine, then connect back to this workspace, specifically this law monitor one. It has this unique credential, it will know. Now from the agent configuration, I will be telling that particular agent what kind of the logs I want for myself. So that agent will be going ahead and extracting those logs and sending you to this log analytic workspace. So this is a place where you are collecting, keeping all the logs. Okay guys, so this is the place where you are collecting all the logs here. So just like again, I will be giving you the same example. If you remember, I was giving you the example of ELK, Elastic Stacks, right? So if you are using that one, in that one we have the Beats agent which you need to install. Okay, Beats agent. Similarly, in this Splunk we have the forwarders. You can install those agents. We call them forwarder as well, right? Those kind of things are there which will be forwarding the logs, right? You require something like that. For the Linux server, again, how to download and onboard the agent. This is the whole process. Copy this one, run this one, then this is the workspace ID, primary key. You need to go with this one. And why this? Okay, we'll be coming to these kind of things. So this is the one way to connect those machines back to this log analytic workspace. So what I have done, okay, I'm again going to go that RDP machine, right? RDP to the machine here, the VM2, which we are treating as the same. So it will be now your task that if in your on-premise there are different server, all of them having this particular setup, like this one, I'm having that setup here. What you have to do is you will be going ahead, double clicking it, and like any normal installation, you will be selecting that I want to install the Microsoft OMS agent on this machine. So when you'll be running this, selecting that OMS agent here, then in that OMS agent you will be selecting, giving that workspace ID and your key, paste those things over there. Now this will be, and this machine is also connected to your log analytic workspace. Now what is going to be here is actually these VMs were actually shut down for a very long time. So they are, I think they are not going to have a lot of logs in here. Okay, if you will be looking into the logs, they are not going to have a lot of logs in here. I'm pretty sure about that. Okay, let me just check the whether this is collecting some logs or no. Okay, some performance counter and some events are being connected over here. So let me just check the we take the preview of some data. I'm just checking that whether okay, I can see the VM2 in here or not. Okay, not in here. Okay, if it is not here, just give me a minute. Okay, I'm just wanted so that in this machine you will be finding, although it was not showing you that this is running over there, but if you will be wanting, you can see that VM2 is also the one which is sending your queries over here. Okay, so I'm just looking for that particular thing. Okay, so we will be running some query. Let me just run for the event first. Okay, if we will be running for the event, okay, we'll be just checking for that. Okay, okay, you can see here VM2. Okay, one log I found in here. Okay, lot of log from the VM2 is also coming towards this log analytic workspace. The date and time is also there. Okay, good thing. Okay, very good thing, right? So from VM1 and VM2, logs are coming towards this particular log analytic workspace. You can see here, right? Even if I have to verify, okay, now a bit of the idea, like this is pretty simple, as if you have seen any SQL or any other language, this is pretty simple like that, and it will keep giving you the options that what you can use in here. Like I want to go with the search, so it will be giving me the option that you can go with the search here. So I'm searching for the very specific, the name is of the machine is the VM-2. Okay, and you can see that it is popped up with this kind of the highlighted with the black accent over here. So I can run this query, and in here you can see that all the logs that it will be showing you now. Okay, let me just minimize this one, and you can see it here that all this is based on your VM2 only, right? All the computers. So again, why I'm showing you that you can see easily there is the events from the VM2. And why I'm showing you this, because again, if you'll be going to the virtual machine part of section over here, So you can easily see it is showing you that it is not connected, right? It's showing you that it is not connected, but we are having the logs from the VM2. Why? Because I have gone ahead, and if I again show you this RDP connection, I have installed this agent in this machine. This is OMS agent which I have installed in this VM itself. Now this is sending the logs to my machine itself. Again, second thing in here would be that if I minimize this one and see it here, okay, I was saying that it is sending, right? It is sending the logs, but again here it is showing you that it is not connected because I have installed the agent. It is sending. Now how we are going to go ahead and we are going to say that which kind of logs you want, right? I have just connected those. I have just shown you how to connect VMs to the log analytic workspace, but I didn't tell you that how to go ahead and which kind of the logs I want. Okay, for that this agent configuration option is here. Like from the window machine, what kind of logs you want. Okay, you can click on this add window event logs. You can have all these kind of logs. Okay, so if you guys are familiar with the logs, okay guys, in the your Sentinel bootcamp, Sentinel courses, we do not talk about the type of log, because if I deep dive into this, that what is the kind of log and all these kind of thing, it is becoming a whole different blue teaming kind of scenario, right? Very basic. So we are hoping that you have that kind of the prerequisite, what kind of the logs are there, what you are investigating. Like in the Windows, there are different event IDs. You should be familiar. Like in window, if I'll be showing you the a simple thing, okay, let me just take you to the event viewer in here. Okay, in this VM, if I'll be showing you the event viewer, okay, this is the event viewer here, and if you will be looking into the Windows log, so there is application log, security log, setup log, system log, and forwarded event. And let me tell you one more thing in here, okay, while we are on this bootcamp, that application log, not this one, not security, setup, system, and forwarded event. These logs I can, the security. These log application setup, system, and forwarded event, I can directly send it to the log analytic workspace, right, from that agent configuration setting. But to send the security logs to the log analytic workspace, I am going to need the Sentinel. Okay, so again, keep this in mind. You are going to require the Sentinel if you want this to forward, okay, the security log to forward it to the log analytic workspace. This is something that you have to keep in mind. There are minute things here and there like this. Okay, so if you want to send the logs like this to the your Sentinel security logs to the Sentinel, you will be requiring the Sentinel. Okay, not directly from this configuration part. So here you can see that if you want to add the logs, okay, here, there you will be seeing that your logs like your hardware events, forwarded events, first endpoint manager, DNS server related event, DFS replications, analytics, IIS related, some of the IIS related events, RDMS related events like ATA port general event, a lot of different kind of the logs. So you should be aware which kind of logs you want. You can kernel logs will be there, your firewall related logs, device UX related log, data integrity, scan/admin, right, from the kernel, what you want, USB related, all those logs you can select. Okay, and one thing in mind, please do not send any unnecessary log that you don't want to look into, right? So you should be having a pretty clear baseline in your mind that what you want to send. Okay, so I'm just going to remove it because I'm already sending for the demonstration application and system log in there, so pretty happy with those things. Now you can send some performance counter as well, like I'm sending things like the available megabytes, committed bytes in there. I'm sending these kind of the logs as well in there. So these are performance counters simply, which I'm sending. Then there is the Linux based, if you have devices which is Linux based, you can send these kind of the logs in there: processor time, idle time, user time, previous user, logic disk related, memory related, physical disk related, system related like process, user, uptime, a free space in the paging file, uptime, PCT, and all these kind of scenario. You can send them in there. Network related, you can send them, right? That is also the option. Then even okay, syslogs, you will be familiar on the all the non-Windows based logs or the syslogs. You will be creating a Linux machine, connecting that one as the syslog servers and sending all those syslogs. So if you are familiar with the PRI, there are 23 PRI like kernel level message, different one. So you'll be sending those PRIs over here. So you can see all of those PRI over here, right? Cron, daemon, FTP layer, local 0, 1, 2 up to 7, 6, 7, IPR, mail, news, syslog, user, UUCAP. Okay, and we know that in syslog we have 0 to 7, right? 0 is just your kind of debug, and 7 is your critical, right? Emergency, alert, warning, all these things. What kind of the syslog you want to forward? If you have IIS server, you can select the collect the W3C format logs from there, right? So this is something that is there, and you can create this particular one, these kind of the scenario in here. You can tell that what kind of the logs you want to collect. So I'm just click on discard changes for now, okay, because I'm collecting few of the logs already in advance. And not only that, okay guys, one more feature that you should be aware: you can have some custom logs as well if you want. So when we are talking about the custom logs, in the custom log, what I have done in this VM3, actually I have installed in the Linux server, I have installed the Nginx server, and as you can see, I am having this public IP in here, right? So I can give you this, every one of you, this link, and you even, I'm dropping this in the chat box for everyone, and I'm just gonna go and you guys can also try to go ahead and access this one out. So when you will be accessing this one out here, so what is going to happen is that it is going to generate some logs. So you guys will be familiar that by default this Nginx service is not in the Linux server. I am installing this. Even in the that log analytic workspace, when you will be seeing that you can add things like you can add things like Apache's some performance counter in here, which is by default in there, but not the Nginx, because that is some additional service that you have added from there. But you can see that I am having option of this custom log. I can define the path for this log to be collected. So what I have done first is I have extracted that file from your VM over here, right? That from VM3 I have extracted a sample file. So if I will show you the sample file, that looks something like this with the name access.log, right? So this was that sample file. I extracted that file first, because why? When you will be clicking on this add custom log, that I want to give you a location, this log analytic workspace, that agent, a particular location from where you need to extract the log. So first of all, you need to give a sample log to it, that okay, go ahead and have that particular, like this one, will be giving this some logs. Then it will be trying to understand that what kind of your logs it is, what logs it is collecting. Like it is collecting these logs, okay, it is understanding what should be the delimiter from how it will be understanding the data. So it got a sample. If I'm going to an unknown place, first I'm getting the bit of the idea that these kind of things we are going to get there. I'm understanding it. Then this log analytic workspace will be using its machine learning AI to understand what kind of data or logs I'm going to get from there. Then going next to their collection path. Okay, so what kind of the collection path is going to be there from where? So like from the window machine you need to collect, or from a Linux servers. So for all the Linux server, what it will be doing, it will be looking for things like /var/log/nginx/access.log file, right? So if you guys are a bit familiar with the Linux architecture, this is going to be the path from where you will be collecting the logs. You will be mentioning this thing, going on to the details, right? Next, this will be the whole thing, giving it the name. Then you will be clicking on review and create. Okay, and all the customs logs will be extended by the _CL in here. So you'll be going to this one, collecting this one, connecting to this one, going ahead and just simply going to enjoy this particular path that you have done this thing, you have overcome this thing, and that's it. Now this machine will be going, this machine will keep collecting the logs, and when we'll jump into the logs part, now you will be seeing all those event based. There will be the heartbeat and the users log, heartbeat log will be there, and these performance and event based I am collecting. This is the custom log that we are having, so we can go with this here. So if you want to see, I can go with the Linux Nginx CL. It is checking that one out and simply run this thing, right? Run this query in here. So you will see all of this is related to this one. And if you will try to notice one thing, okay, so this VM I have shut it down way ago, okay, a way ago. So if you will be seeing more in here, so mostly you will be seeing the logs are from the today itself, like look like someone tried to go there and access these logs from the different IP addresses. You can see this thing, okay, it is from the 8th December, so this is only today's, okay, and it is just showing you the result for the last 24 hours. So that's why this is one of the reasons. So we can change this thing, that would be a whole different thing. The display time will be UTC, okay, changing the timing and all that kind of thing. But yeah, so it is only showing you the result from the last 24 hours that you are seeing, and I can change the timer here that I want more for that. So you can see, today what we were doing, I think, and all this is recent. Okay, although timing is different. Why timing is different? These machines are running on the central US time. Okay, that's why this timing is a bit different over here. So this is one thing. And you can see if you guys or even I have tried to go here, so we have generated some logs. This is the some latest log that you are getting in here. So I will be changing this time range. Okay, you can create it custom, and line 3 is belonging to your IP. That's good. I'll be changing the time range to 7 days. I will be running this one. Okay, so within 7 days, you can see on the 5th, after the 5th, I'm using it today, right? Today itself. So here you can see now all the range over here. So again, I'll be changing it to the 24 hour, run it like one more time, and getting the data for last 24 hour only, right? All those event and everything that was there. Okay, that 87 one is yours. Okay, that's fine, right? Yes, this is logs, collecting logs, working with the logs. And let me just tell you a bit more on your Kutsu query language. Like, what you have to do. Again, if you are familiar with the bash scripting or anything, you can always put some pipe. Now, with the KQL, you need to write things like, let me just change this range to whole 7 days. Okay, so I'm taking this thing and I'm saying this, take some random 5 value. Okay, take file, not in this one. Let me just search it in the event. Okay, so I think you guys will be a bit familiar when you put the pipe. So the output of this line as passed into the second query as the input. So output of this event last 7 days query, and if 5 event will be taken here, right? Okay, let me just first run the event. Oops, piping take and 5. Okay, right. So here we can see that it is the take 5, and it is taking the 5 of the resource over here, 5 of the events over here. Now let's say that you want top 10 by the time generated. Top 10 by time generated. You can do that as well, right? So my bad, wrong query. So it will be like one section will be your time generated. So I'm just going to take this one, right? Like this one. Go ahead, run this query. It will be taking the 10 by the time generated, and even I can give them by the this will be the latest 10 that you will be getting, and I can give this here the time value as well, like time generated greater than less than 5 minutes. Okay, greater than the query which is, or the logs which has generated prior to the 5 minutes. Show me those things. Even the output you are getting, I can, even these pipes, they can go on to the next line as well, like here, like this. Okay, I can run this, and if guys, this run query, when you press run, it is only going to run that part which is highlighted. You can see this part is highlighted as the black one, right? So only this is going to run. If you want to run a whole query, you can select all of that and press on run, right? It will be running that whole query. So it will be going with this thing. And even let's say that you want to generate some query with the event level 4. So top 10 by the time generated, or you can go with the things like your where your event level, I'm selecting directly from here, equals to, and level is, as you can see, mostly these are informational levels, so they have the level of 4. So I'm just saying that 4. Okay, I'm not going to have the warning or anything in this, I'm pretty sure, because these VMs work pretty and they stop the states, so no way to connect to them. Okay, and I've just created them 2-3 days ago. So here you can see they are taking up all the your events in the last 4 days where event level was your 4. Okay, only few logs in here, because this was mostly paused most of the time, right? So you can have those kind of things. Even you guys can run the queries like average, counter value, bin. Okay, those kind of things you can even run on this one. Then even let's say that you don't want to see all the your columns or anything. So what you can have is only project your event log, and comma, let's say I want to know which computer has generated, so there will be the computer, comma, so this is the event log and this is the computer. These two columns I want, that's it. So I can run this query one more time. Okay, so here I'll be getting the them by this, and if I will drop them down, you will be getting the details like this. Okay, so we can create many complicated queries from here as well, but this is just the introduction in here. And again, I'll be taking you to this part where it is the Sentinel. So it was giving me that whole scenario regarding the free tiers and everything. I can collect the query data from here, and have this all thing for me. There is going to be you can see it's UI. I'm going to have incident, workbook, hunting, notebook, entity behavior if you want to enable the UA bar. So if anyone who was not familiar with that, now we have this features now here as well. So if someone has seen the Sentinel 1 or 2 years ago, we have the entity behavior option, creating the threat intelligence. Let's say that you have some CSV file you want to upload, gather things. So tomorrow we'll be seeing all these things, right? I'll be taking you directly now towards this Sentinel part tomorrow, and there we will be playing around with what options are, what is the connector, what we call the connectors, how what is the connectors, rules, getting things done, that kind of the things we will be doing in there. Okay, checking the incident, assigning them to someone, those kind of things we are going to play around tomorrow with the Microsoft Sentinel in here, right? So guys, for the day one, we have discussed the very basic thing, the two core part of your Sentinel. One is the your log analytic workspace where you are going to store the particular logs. Then bit about the KQL, how to connect to them. Very basic level we have seen. Nothing too much in depth, but yes, very basic level we have seen. And yes, for now it would be a thank you. This is it that what we are going to learn for today. Thank you so much for joining InfosecTrain, and you can look for our Azure Sentinel training in our website.